But he is. The trading pins isn't updated. Yeah, we can't see anybody. I'm not gonna know who any of the cars are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Erska Belly Up Sports Series from Daytona. Dom Santina, David Westergreen, and Emily Harlan here with us. Thanks for hanging with us while you were experiencing some technical difficulties. We're in the middle of this race here at Daytona. Currently 16 laps in. We had a couple different leaders. Joe Francis led for a little bit. Jeff Green led quite a few laps up front, and now we just saw an accident, and it was Colin Fambro that got spun and started the whole thing.
Yeah. Colin Fambro got spun. Jeff Green went around. Vincent Isabella, who is subbing for Ryan Lutz, goes into the wall right there. Ethan Burrell's going to get a little damage in this. James Heater, Zishan Dura. A lot of guys involved in a pretty early wreck. It seemed like the racing before that point was a little bit tame. Some of the guys in the chat before the race kind of complaining about the way this car was handling through turns, through the back straightaway and into turn 3, and that's right where we saw the wreck happen. 17 laps are in the books here. A lot of these guys fighting for the playoff picture. We didn't really get to set the stage before the race at all. It's Colin Fambro was one of those guys who really needed a good run today, and I know Chris Wright did spin in this wreck. Wright is one of those guys who is on the bubble and needs a good run. So Zishan Dura first off pit road. I don't think he may have missed his pit box there. We might see him back down pit road. Joe Francis would be the first one off after that. Then Josh Adams, Michael Goodman.
Yeah, like you said, David, it was pretty clean there in the opening few laps. That's the first crash, probably not the last one we'll see. You can see as I look at Zishan's car right now, he got a significant amount of damage up there on the nose of that Ford Mustang. But we know this race is always intense. No matter when you come to Daytona, and with points on the line, it could get even more interesting as we go throughout the night.
Yeah, we see a lot of guys subbing tonight, too. A lot of somewhat unfamiliar faces. Brinson in the 15 car. Isabella 36. We've got Hank Steinmer in the 12. We got Brent Jones in the field as well. Just a bunch of guys whose names you probably haven't heard of as a race fan right now. And with that, Josh Robbins in one of these cars as well. I really think it's a matter of finding out if some of these guys are what they're made of on these plate tracks. You need drafting partners. You need familiarity. And some of these guys like Robin, Vincent, Hank, they've run with a number of our drivers over in the Elite Series on Mondays and Wednesdays, but they haven't maybe run with some of these other guys as much. So between that and the playoff picture, this race has the potential to be very chaotic through the rest of the night, and we've already seen it a little bit with a lot of these guys getting some early damage.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple other things that I kind of noticed, since we will be off for a week or two after this one, some guys running some patriotic paint schemes that was throughout the field tonight, with it closing in on the 4th of July. Zishan's one of them, kind of got a red, white, and blue theme to his car tonight.
Yep. A lot of red, white, and blue schemes you'll see throughout the field. Colin Fambro had a beautiful one. Unfortunately, that one's been torn up. Zishan Dura's pulling one. Kate Lytle has one. Thomas Sherman's car is especially good, and Johnny Thomas is running a throwback to that Ken Schrader car from back when 2001 after the September 11th attacks. I want to go ahead and pull up our race sponsor, Dakota Drake, and let Emily just ask him a couple of questions maybe about the race, since we weren't able to let him call us to green. So as we come back to green, let's bring him in, see if we can't get a few words with him. Dakota, hey. You're on with us here.
Hey, Dakota, you have a copy? Dakota, you have a copy?
All right. See if we can't communicate with him in a little bit, maybe after the next caution. I'm sure there will be another wreck. So meanwhile, we'll go ahead and go back to green. Thanks, Emily, for giving it a shot there. We'll see if we can't communicate with him later in this race. Zishan Dura leads us back to green with a little bit of damage on the front nose of the 10 car.
Yeah, the paint scheme that I really like is the car sitting in third place, second on the inside line right now. That is Josh Adams, the 95 car. He's got a U.S. Air Force paint scheme there, and I think he might have an Air Force member on the back bumper. I was trying to take a look at it too, but pretty cool paint scheme there for the 95 car as well.
Yeah, if we can't get a shot of Nick Massey's car as well, Massey and Adams are together running different paint schemes for the U.S. Air Force. Massey running that Blue Angels paint scheme. Really love the way as well. Jordan Owens cracking into the top 5. 45 car told me he was going to go to the front before this race started. We obviously missed his progress along the way, but Jordan has jumped into the second car in the outside lane, and he hasn't been able to make a whole lot of noise this season. We kind of addressed that last week, but a really good run early on in this one. Adams jumps to the top lane. That's Josh Robin in the 28 car, newcomer to this series. He's pretty good at these plate tracks, runs them over in elite. He'll be on a team with Gerald Campbell, likely trying to work the 31 car up into the playoff picture here. As Josh Adams goes to the point around Joe Francis, our Talladega winner, continuing to show dominance on these super speedways.
Already a quarter of the way through.
Looking back to the top 10, I was checking out progress of some of our bubble drivers. Nick Indelicato is running 11th on the grid, kind of the 5th car on the bottom, trying to crack into the top 10 there a little bit. I think he's actually on the top in that white and blue car with the yellow numbers. Delicato told us last week he might not show up. You know, he was really discouraged after having a dominant run get taken away late in an unfortunate incident. Now Indelicato is going to have to push his way to the front if he wants to go ahead and claim the chase position that he's probably earned throughout the rest of the regular season so far. Dylan Thomas, another one of our bubble drivers. If Josh Adams were to jump into the top 10, Thomas would likely take over the second wild card spot. Right now it is held by Adams. Thomas would be currently out, but with Adams up front, that leaves Dylan Thomas as that only car outside the top 10 in points with a race win. If Campbell, who's right in front of Dylan Thomas there, were to fall out of the top 10 in points, that would mean that Dylan Thomas would have to get in front of Gerald Campbell in points, and that's a pretty tall task. There's a pretty large gap between the two of them. So right now, Gerald would be ahead of Campbell in points, but yeah, he might also be not inside the top 10 with Josh Adams running very well. So Matthew Bayuk is one of our chase guys, and he has not been in the front so far tonight. He has been much further back.
No, I was just checking on him. He's running in the 17th to 18th position right now, towards the back of this front pack here. But, you know, riding along, staying out of danger might be the safe play here, at least early on.
Yeah, though Bayuk not at all in the safe zone. You see there a bunch of cars off the back of the field, but I think that the safest place is maybe way away from this big front snarling back of cars. A lot of these guys needing to get a good finish and get those halfway points. Ethan Burrell, now let's remind you, is 35 points behind Ryan Lutz. He does need 35-point pickup in this race because Lutz is being subbed out by Vincent Isabella. Isabella's in the 36 car. That means that Lutz will be staying at the number of points he's currently at. Burrell needs to pick up as many as he can in order to take that regular season playoff champion.
He's got himself in a good position running up here in the front pack.
He will need to move all the way past these guys. Yeah, he'll need to get some halfway points, though. He needs to be up in the top 10 at minimum to maximize this gap based on whether or not he can actually finish up in the top 10. If he finishes top 10, he might be able to do it. I think he'll need to finish 5th, but if he can cut anything out of that at halfway, that would be huge for Ethan Burrell. Looking through there, I see the 47 of Cameron Rich. He did start the last 2 races, so Rich is locked into the playoffs. One of our more inconsistent drivers, but our winner the last time we rode here at Daytona. Rich had kind of missed a few races in there and been pretty inconsistent in some others. Fortunately for him, he's locked in by virtue of having those 2 wins and starting as many races as he did. So Cameron Rich will be playoff racing, along with some of the other guys in the field are locked in. Ethan Burrell is one of those.
Yeah, Tate Lytle and Nick Massey also locked in on points as well. Yep.
And as long as a couple of guys do end up falling out of this race, Jared Mogard should be in. He's 27th right now. He's 39 points to the good coming into this race. So Mogard really just needs to not finish dead last with no points scored. As long as he can do that, keep that car out of trouble, he'll be locked in to the playoffs coming up. He's certainly hanging back right now, doesn't want anything bad to happen to that 0-0 car. And then Chris Wright, Gerald Campbell, James Heater, Matthew Weeks, Matthew Bayuk, and Josh Adams, Nick Indelicato, Dylan Thomas, Joe Francis, and Colin Fambro, kind of the guys that we've listed on the bubble. Francis running second, doing everything he needs to do to get into this playoff, though I think it would take some extraneous circumstances for Joe Francis to make it in. He's awfully far back in points.
And this is kind of what we saw in the first 13 laps or 14 laps before that caution came out. I know we weren't quite up yet, but it was kind of just like this, just side-by-side racing. Not a lot of moves made up at the front, just kind of tucked in two lines and riding along. And it was Jeff Green at the time that was controlling the pack up front. Now it's Josh Adams here in the second run.
Yep, Josh Adams really able to hold the bottom, and Francis not trying to move anywhere. I think we'll see the action pick up a good deal once we get close to this halfway point. Once these cars can kind of get racy, they'll probably try to take it 3 wide a few times. That is how we got in trouble with that first wreck, is going 3 wide, entering turn 3. Contact between Tate Lytle, Jeff Green, and Colin Fambro as Nick Indelicato bails to the bottom. That 01 car not wanting to be involved in this pack anymore. So Nick Indelicato, though, he does need to make up a lot of ground. 10 points on his teammate Matthew Bayuk, who just passed him right there, deciding it's better off to just hang back, not worry about it right now, and see if these guys wreck in front of him.
Interesting decision. Thought he'd maybe try to play for some of those halfway points. Instead, it's going to check out.
3 wide back in the middle of the pack there.
We'll see if it pays out in the last 40 laps.
Oh, absolutely. And it seems like he got out of there in a hurry and at the right time. 3 wide mid-pack. Josh Personette heading to the back now. Or no, that's Josh Robin heading to the back. Personette is running second. A couple of identically schemed cars there for SMRI. Adams still holds on the bottom. Personette trying to take the lead. He'll do it. Big push from Jordan Owens. Thomas Sherman behind him. Those guys running the top lane, able to get that run down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and it's Adams, Francis, and Dura on the bottom line. They stack it up 2 by 2, about 15 rows deep.
It's starting to get racy. These guys know there's 12 laps till that halfway break, where we need points to be awarded. So one of the guys on the bubble moving up into the top 10, we haven't talked about him yet, Matthew Weeks. That 11 car, the bright pink car up in the top lane. He is working into the top 10 now, 9th place on the scoring pylon. He said he was going to go for the win, said, you know me, when I got into the lobby with him. Weeks felt like he has a really good shot to win this thing, and all those Pro Edge teammates there. You got Josh Clark and Tate Lytle right on the bottom next to him. All those guys very confident about their chances tonight, especially Josh Clark. He really is going for it here. Although, whoa, Owens hits the wall. That's going to turn to Lytle head on. Big crash there. Ethan Burrell is in it. Yeah, that took out all the Pro Edge guys right about him. Matthew Bayuk's involved. I think Nick Indelicato got out of there just in time. What do you guys think?
Well, it's going to be huge if Bayuk has damage and Indelicato doesn't.
Well, I think Indelicato slowed down for this wreck and got rear-ended. He's going to have some damage, but it won't be near as bad as some of the others in this wreck. Chris Wright got damage in this as well. A lot of bubble drivers involved in this one. There goes Lytle head on into the outside wall. He's already locked in. Lafferty pounds into him. Weeks and Clark sliding sideways. Gerald Campbell right in the middle of this wreck.
Did he avoid it?
I think Gerald Campbell avoided it. I think Matthew Weeks is okay. That's Jared Mogard down on the bottom. If Clark comes down into Mogard, that is horrible luck for Mogard's going to get through this okay as well. My, oh my. James Heater right there. He's another playoff bubble driver. Back in the back, a lot of checking up caused some incidents as well. Indelicato got rear-ended. Kyle Hanshaw got into it. Wright got spun. Yeah, that's a good plan. Indelicato's going to get a little bump in the left rear corner. I don't think that'll be too bad. Trying to get some other idea here. Some of these guys and the damage that they have. bunch of guys. Dallas My Hand went sliding in sideways. Robert Hill spins in this. Michael Goodman snakes through pretty unscathed in that 73 car. I told Goody before the race it might be his night. Looking great. Goody did get into Chris Wright a little there once that wreck started. Just the product of Daytona. A lot of guys braking and holding the brakes, just sliding the tires, not really anywhere to go. So a lot of guys end up with damage.
Josh Personet's going to win the race off pit road. Then Joe Francis, Jared Campbell, Johnny Thomas, and Matthew Brinson, the top 5.
Matthew Brinson, one of those newcomers to the series during this race. Tate Lytle in the waiting room, grab him for Emily when she gets back from speaking with, looks like, Shift Esports and Bayuk and Indelicato. And we do need to try to talk to Dakota Drake at some point tonight. The race sponsor would love to go ahead and get his name out there. Personet, Francis, those are the only two that are definitely not involved in this one. Those guys were out front. Josh Adams as well. It's like Matthew Bayuk's going to be 6th, though, on this restart. That'll be an interesting turn of events if he is actually running there. I think he might have come back down pit road. Not sure. It looks like the timing and scoring hasn't updated for me yet, so waiting for it there. Johnny Thomas is 4th, so yeah, the Johnny Thomas car looking good. American flag car there. Bayuk is 6th. Yeah, that car might be okay. Let's see what Emily's got for us from Shift Esports.
Hey guys, yeah, so I just jumped down and chatted with Nick. Just wanted to get his thoughts on coming back since he mentioned he was not thinking about doing that last week. He said that he realized he had a shot and anything can happen. He said he's going to try to stay conservative, avoid the crashes, and then race hard. He also mentioned that him getting in would mean, some bad news for his teammate. So he said he didn't want to try to take him out, obviously, but, if he sees his shot, he's going to try to win this thing.
And Emily, stay, hang out right there. Let's bring Tate Lytle in. He jumped in the waiting room, so let's ask Tate what happened on that wreck.
Hey, Tate, do you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tate, you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, well, I was jumping down chatting, so I did not see what happened on that wreck. So why don't you take us through what you saw out there?
Looking at it, it looks like the 45 got a bump from, it looks like the 17, got him loose. Hit the 95, and the 8 didn't quite check up enough and got into the 11, who right hooked me into the fence, and it was on from there. I got hit a lot of different times. We got about 32 minutes of required repairs. Not going to sit there that long and repair it, but that's the nature of Daytona. But
what else kind of were you thinking coming into this one? Did you expect it to be as crazy as it's been so far?
Yeah, I did. I thought I'd have a little bit better shot at the win there. That first wreck, lap 16, I was, the 95 and 5 were splitting people 3 wide every other lap, it seemed like. So, and then they left the middle open. We had a big run on the outside past the 50, and I put it 3 wide. And I don't know if Fambro was just upset that I got underneath him and didn't want to give me the room, but at the end of the day, it got him wrecked, and that's going to be the end of his championship hopes. So I don't know what the point of that one was, but that second wreck, that just looks like that's just Daytona. That's nature Daytona. 45 got loose, and we had a big one. But you guys are in for a fun last 50 laps here, though. That's for sure.
All right.
Do you have any predictions on who you think's going to take it?
Let's see who's still in the race. I hope Johnny Thomas wins. I'm a big Johnny Thomas fan. Go Johnny Thomas.
Awesome. All right, Tate, thanks so much for the time, Tate.
Yeah, you guys.
Big thanks to Tate Lytle for joining us there, and hopefully he can feel better after that hard hit head on into the fence. We are back green. Josh Personet, the race leader. Joe Francis going for the lead, and things are about to get racy here as some of these drivers that don't have a lot of damage are going to try to go after those halfway points. You see Nick Indelicato, one of those, on the outside.
Yeah, 3 wide, just at the back of the top 10. Dylan Thomas, Jared Mulder, Nick Indelicato, and Nick Massey all in the mix there.
Checking out some of the guys in the back with damage. I am, and Ethan Burrell A lot of damage way off the back of the pack. Let's see. Josh Clark way off the back here with some damage. He's back there with Colin Fambro now. So whether or not these guys have enough time to get these cars cleaned up by the end of the race is going to remain to be seen, I think, because a lot of damaged cars back here. Not a whole lot of speed in these things as well. It's going to be really hard for them to hang on to the pack.
Jared Campbell to the lead on the inside.
Big run there.
Personette jumped up to the high side. Campbell filled the hole and got a push from Adams, new race leader, the 31 car.
Josh Personette not going to be able to hold it there. Nick Massey bailing on this pack. Not so much interested in running this 3-wide set. As they 5 laps until the stage break, Gerald Campbell needs these points, putting himself in prime position to go ahead and get himself locked in. 10 points would pretty much ensure Gerald Campbell will race for the championship this season. He just won the Elite Cup Series championship last Wednesday.
So if he gets up here, gets these points, then do you expect to him maybe fall back a little bit, stay out of danger, and ride along till?
I know Gerald Campbell, and that is not his strategy. Gerald is a nose to the grindstone all the time. Drives kind of like Ryan Newman does, always 100%. No matter what, no matter the situation, he's going to be looking for these stage points, and he's going to be looking to lead all the rest of the laps and win this race.
Brinson jumps up on the top side there, looking to go around Francis. We'll see how that works out. He's going to get shuffled to the top line.
Yep,
Bayou
Bayuk
can
there.
sneak underneath.
That's big for Matthew Bayuk. If Bayuk can pick up some stage points here, that will be absolutely massive for his ability to stay in front of teammate Nick Indelicato. Indelicato would need to finish 10 spots better than Bayuk so far. If Bayuk gets these points, every point is another position that Indelicato has to beat Bayuk by at the end of this race. Matt Thomas Sherman there in 5th. He looks like from Tate Lytle's analysis, he thinks the 17 maybe started that wreck earlier, but Sherman's still in 5th. Everybody else who got involved in that kind of well in the back. So it worked out for Thomas Sherman.
Yeah, and Indelicato running in the 20th position right now as it stands.
Not good for Indelicato and his hopes to catch Matthew Bayuk. Dylan Thomas needs Josh Adams to run very well and bypass Bayuk. Adams is in striking distance of Bayuk, but not when Bayuk's running in pin P6. So that's kind of another thought, as Thomas is in the points right now. He is 10th. Matthew Weeks trying to sneak into the points. He's 11th, and that would be big for him as well. He is 9th. Almost the bubble driver, but he does have 23 points to the good in cushion. So I think Weeks will be okay if he can just get that 11 car into the points, grab a couple extra, and then not finish, 35th or so. It really is a battle for 10th. It's a battle between Bayuk and Indelicato, I think, and then maybe Josh Adams as well. If Adams is able to sneak into the top 10, then it comes down to Dylan Thomas getting, and Indelicato and Bayuk not winning the race. And otherwise, I think it'll probably be Bayuk or Indelicato, whoever finishes higher. A lot of race left, though. It's Daytona. Anything can happen. We're almost here at lap 40. Coming around to it. We'll get 40 next time by.
Yeah, stage points will be awarded here in just a few minutes.
To look for any 3-wide moves from this group right here. There's one. Nick Indelicato charging back to the front. He wants to get those stage points. Throwing a block is Matthew Weeks. He knows that Indelicato's running for those stage points. Personette to the lead.
Can he get there?
We've got one more lap. I think it's next time by. We'll have completed lap 40. So this is the money lap right here. This is where Gerald Campbell needs to be leading at the line to get all 10 of those points. Francis probably doesn't matter, but Dylan Thomas does want to be in. He was 9th last time by. The outside line losing a little bit of ground, though. Indelicato falls back.
Bayuk hanging up there in the 6th position right now.
Yep. If Jared Mogard also going to grab stage points, that'll help Mogard come close to, if not completely locking himself in. It's going to be Gerald Campbell grabbing those stage points, I think. At the line there, yep, easily is Gerald Campbell, and good stage points for Bayuk and Mogard. Bayuk at least getting 4 points, and that's going to mean that he'll have to lose out 14 spots to lose 10th to Nick and Delicato. There goes Mogard now, dropping to the back. So Mogard jumps up, grabs some stage points, heads to the rear of the field. 00 car doesn't want to run in the pack anymore. He's good.
Dylan Thomas is working his way up on the bottom line there, though.
Yep, Dylan Thomas.
4th in line.
As Josh Robin has tried this 3-wide move several times, has not had anyone to jump up there with him and help him make this move. And so therefore he remains stuck at the back of this field. Robin trying everything he can to go ahead and drive to the front. He knows that track position is key here at Daytona, Talladega. Robin likes to be up front and leading these races when he can be. The car on the bottom with that inside lane push is just so strong. You've got Gerald Campbell, and he's doing it right now, but it's going to be the next guy who does it is a different driver every time, right? It's Josh Adams' last run. That first car on the inside just has so much power because you can ride through the corner faster than everybody else on track, and then you come off the corner and maybe the guys get outside of you, as Adams does here, but you end up gapping them in the corner so much that they're only chasing you down the straightaways, and so it's easy to hold the lead for a while unless they get together and do a little bump drafting and really push on that outside lane. Adams trying to clear Campbell. Campbell getting help from Sherman, though. That is a team car to the 31. And Adams clears. Josh Adams to the race lead and jumps to the bottom on track. 95 car looking very strong tonight. He's been first or second just about every lap we've been able to cover this race.
Yeah, he's had complete control up here up front. Slipped back a little bit on the pit stop, but now back out front, and we'll see if anyone can get around him now.
You know what's funny? Before the race, Michael Goodman told me he didn't like how this car drove. He rolls sideways, or rolls it into the corners. He just said it felt soft. He didn't like how it felt. He was like, I'm going to run back. Here he is running 10th, doing an absolutely fantastic job. Michael Goodman does this just about every time of these plate tracks, too. He'll drive to the front, get caught up in a wreck. I'm going to predict that Goody gets caught up in a wreck, so therefore he won't, because for once the guy deserves a darn good finish on these plate tracks. Personette does take the lead around Adams up ahead. Got a bunch of guys back here in this mid-teens pack running off the back, trying to kind of strategize a good finish here. James Heater, one of those. Kyle Hanshaw right behind him. I believe Hanshaw actually is a lap down. Robert Hill behind them, doing a good job. Jordan Owens is back up into the top 10 as well. Scott Crump behind Heater. Haven't seen Crump's America scheme there. There it is. Been waiting for Scott Crump. He's a little too far back to make a move on the playoffs. Those early season woes just plagued him too much, and he won't be able to run for the championship this year. Francis is getting shuffled on the outside. Johnny Thomas shuffles Joe Francis. Johnny might shuffle Josh Personette too while he's at it. He sure is going to.
Here comes Johnny to the front.
Johnny Thomas drives to the bottom. Gerald Campbell to the middle. He's got help from teammate Thomas Sherman. Big line on top. That'll definitely take the lead from Josh Adams. Great move by Gerald Campbell. Josh Robbins cuts him 3 wide. He'll follow Thomas through. Matthew Weeks just jumped to the bottom. He had enough of trying to go 3 wide there. He needs to salvage that solid finish to lock himself in. Doesn't need any shenanigans in that 11 car. He's already been sideways today.
Campbell and Sherman jump to the bottom. They'll pick up Adams here. Adams going to cross over. He'll go to the top side, try to take the run with him. Not enough for Dylan Thomas, who was pushing him to get up there. He'll swap it out for Johnny Thomas on the top line.
A great run by Dylan Thomas, the dirt star who won that dirt race after leading all the laps. Just coming up here and showing he can do it on the big tracks as well. Gerald Campbell out front. Josh Adams, he's been up here all day, so is Thomas Sherman. Those guys running really strong right now. Dylan Thomas, kind of the surprising one in that group. He wasn't particularly strong at Daytona earlier in the year. Johnny Thomas was, and yeah, it would be cool, as Tate Lytle called, for Johnny Thomas to go ahead and take home this race win.
Been going in about 18 lap spurt, so we're getting close to where that last caution came out to. I think it was 16 lap spurts or something like that. So we're getting around that same time span from where we've seen our last 2 cautions. So keep an eye out, one might be coming here.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't, or even if it does, I don't know that it'll be huge, as Johnny Thomas trying to go for the lead. This pack has really dwindled down a good bit. A lot of damage in the middle and rear of the field after those wrecks. And so in so doing, it has kind of broken this field up. We got about 18, 19, maybe 20 cars, 21 cars in this front pack. And then there's a whole second pack 24 seconds behind, full of damaged vehicles, and those guys need a caution. Thomas battling Josh Adams. Johnny sure would love to put together a win here at Daytona. Hasn't won a race yet this season. Been pretty competitive and looked really good earlier this season at Daytona before that last lap chaos left him with a bitter taste in his mouth, and I know Johnny wants to go ahead and get some revenge. Josh
Losing a little bit of momentum there on the top side as the bottom line gets it back together. Campbell will give Adams a push. A little clear. Now they break up a little bit. Sherman jumps out of line, gets some air in that Camaro.
John, the outside lane able to pull even with the inside lane on the straightaway when you only have 5 or so cars there. But once you get in the corner with that, it just isn't really there. As Gerald Campbell moves to the top, Campbell trying to grab the lead back. Only 5 cars in this top lane, or I guess now 6 as Campbell moved up there. You need a little more energy to be able to generate enough to pass this leader with more than just that first car. And as long as you're going to do this, what we saw at Daytona, the second car just ends up jumping up in front of that first car on the outside lane, and it's just a shuffle between Adams and Campbell. There goes Adams to the top now.
We'll play the cat and mouse game here as Adams will use the run down the backstretch to pull ahead of Campbell. Look for him there. Adams could not clear him.
Big for the inside lane. Matthew Weeks not really pushed up to the back bumper of Dylan Thomas, likely no doubt because Thomas has that wrinkled up rear bumper. Doesn't want to get too particularly close to that. Outside go the SMRI cars of Personette and Robin. They try to split Johnny Thomas. Johnny trying to stay tucked up to Josh Adams. That might take us 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Robin.
How long can they stay up there, and how long can they stay 3 wide without causing an issue? Cars bouncing a little bit. Still 3 wide as we come down the stretch.
Josh Robin's going to take the lead over. He ditches his teammate, Personette. Robin to the lead. Adams to second. Oh, and man, Personette, man, oh gosh. Did Robin just immediately come down and jump and lag out of the lobby?
Yep, I think so. He
might have just completely disappeared as soon as he took the lead. So I guess Josh Adams now the race leader. Robin just completely disappears. The whole field there, I think, a little bit nervous about whether or not that 26 car is going to reappear. Doesn't appear so. He's just gone. He dropped to the bottom and dropped back. Josh Robin's way behind the field now in 21st. He's completely lost the track. Robin dropped down, I think, to get out of harm's way there and allow these guys to run it out. So, oh, no, yeah, there it goes. Robin fully disconnects now, and man, oh, man. Tough break for Josh Robin. He just took the lead. Campbell's got his teammate on his bumper still. Thomas Sherman really working to push that 31 car.
They've got the high side, Johnny Thomas right behind him, trying to push Campbell back to the lead here with less than 30 to go.
Yep. And none of these cars seem free from damage. We saw Matthew Weeks sideways in that last wreck. Dylan Thomas got damage in the first wreck. Johnny's got some damage. Zishan Dura in the top 10. He has damage too. It's really just Campbell and Adams and Sherman that are damage free so far among this top group. Doesn't matter. Those guys are all competitive, all running together. Campbell clears for the lead. Adams and Thomas clear now, and Campbell and that inside lane gets a really good run when Sherman's not out. When Sherman's out front, it doesn't seem like he pushes or he leads as well as he pushes. Seems like that 17 car can really suck up to the back bumper of the cars in front and push them very well, but cannot seem to lead those lines. It seems like when he gets up there, it falls back a little bit. Matthew Weeks into third.
11 cars coming. Here he comes. He's looking to go to the outside, try to pick up Dylan Thomas here.
That outside lane just seems like it's been, stopped up a little bit. It's almost like the inside lane has the momentum and guys keep leaving it. Michael Goodman up into fifth. Zishan Dura up into third. Zishan's no strange slouch at these plate tracks, man. He pushed Gerald Campbell to a race win earlier this year in the Elite Racing League, and Zishan led a ton of laps in that race as well, and that ultimately led to Gerald Campbell winning the Elite Cup Series Championship. So Zishan knows what he's doing here, and I'm sure he's wanting to get up and fight for this lead, knowing he had damage before he led the field to the last restart. I think that 10 car might be able to have something for him here if he can just get up here. He's definitely good at these places.
Weeks just got loose there on the high side.
We talked about a little bit that back straightaway, just these guys were a little worried about the offset of these cars. It made a car a little bit loose, a little tough to handle on the straightaway. I think maybe a little bit of a push gone wrong there for Matthew Weeks. He'll duck it back in line. Should be okay. He's got Nick and Delicato behind him. I think Weeks will be all right to catch the field once again. Not too far back now.
Top 10 gone single file now, though. All on the bottom line.
Don't know if Nick and Delicato's going to get in front of him here. I probably would have tried to stay behind that 11 car, keep it in line. These guys racing back here, that may let that front group of 9 pull away. The front group of 9 is going to start racing themselves, though. Jordan Owens to the top of the racetrack. We can't get up to the front here.
It's got Johnny Thomas and Dylan Thomas behind him. The 3 cars trying to group up, push back to the front.
Yep, side-by-side action's going to suck that second pack right back up to that front pack. Campbell, Adams, and Zishan Dura, the top 3. Jordan Owens, the first car on the outside in the 45, and we saw him with a lot of speed right up until he got turned sideways in that second rack, rather. And Jordan's car was really good. Looks like he just got turned going into turn 3, but that car, not a lot of damage, able to come back to it. Adams tries to time the run right. Jordan's going to go with him. Michael Goodman's seen enough. He's out to the bottom. And that might be the wise move there for Goody. 3 wide for second. Owens to the top. Johnny Thomas coming through.
Dylan Thomas can give him a push. He gets a little tap there from Dura, and there's Nick and Delicato in the mix as well.
Wow, that just sucked the field right back together. Huge pack of cars now. Back up to 20. Bunch of our playoff drivers, including a bunch of our bubble drivers. And Delicato right there on the outside lane. Matthew Weeks is in this, as well as Gerald Campbell. A lot of potential for some disaster to you tonight. These guys getting Bogarts in this well. Adams gets the lead, though. It seems like he's able to hold it better than just about anyone else. It's very tough for them to get a run on Josh Adams.
Yeah, absolutely. He does a good job up there in that 95 car, holding on, trying to get himself into the playoffs here in the final race before we start in roughly 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, Adams would sure love to go ahead and get himself a championship, seemingly robbed on Wednesday for the Elite Cup Series Championship. He had it until the final corner. Gerald Campbell winds up the champion there. Those guys working together tonight, hoping to race for another one together. Likely 2 guys who you should not sleep on. entering this playoff format with with the chase. These guys are going to be fast every week. Ethan Burrell, Ryan Lutz have dominated on the season, but luck has befallen them recently. Lutz nowhere near as good the past couple of weeks. Not here tonight. Ethan Burrell completely missed the show at Lanier and wrecked tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like Ethan Burrell had all the luck on his side. He had been involved in quite a few accidents in the previous 4 or 5 weeks and able to make something out of it. Well, that has turned and gone against him now here in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep, and that's what you need. You need luck through one of these chase formats. It's nice that you have a chase format in this where you don't have the playoffs, so that things can get very chaotic and luck-based, but you still do need to have your best races right now in the playoffs, right? Guys like Josh, they seem to be, well, Josh Adams at least is coming on strong right now. Nick Indelicato as well. I think the field should probably be worried if that 01 car makes it, because if he does make it, he'll feel like it's a gift, and he's going to be going absolutely ham once you get into these playoffs. And Delicato's going to go really hard to try to win this championship. I know, especially just from kind of talking to him last week and the emotion in his voice. He really wants to have an opportunity to run for this thing.
20 to go.
And Matthew by the 2 cars behind Indelicato, which means he will not be racing for a championship unless something happens to that 29 car. Coming up on that lap pack of injured race cars, and they are not going to stream around them quickly. There's about 10 cars in that pack. This is going to get hairy, I think. I also believe these guys are going to have to pit for fuel. They may want to do that before they get to that big pack of cars. We'll see if they end up needing to pull off. And, oh man, I thought Dallas Myhand was taking the top all the way to pit road.
Johnny Thomas has done a pretty good job here on the top line. He's drawn even a couple times with Josh Adams. Just hasn't been able to get that run to get around him. Like David said, Adams controls that lead so well.
Yeah, he needs more than 3 cars up there. Jordan Owens is trying to get up there, but just doesn't have any help. Bayou's not pushing the issue. Matthew Weeks isn't trying to push the issue, you know, and you've got a whole host of cars ahead that are likely throwing this whole front pack out of whack and making them a little bit nervous. Guys are starting to try to fall to the back. It's certainly going to be a tough one once they get up to this group. You probably can't be going 3 wide amongst them, as Indelicato finds a way to get to the bottom of the racetrack now.
He slots in 5th in line there on the bottom, 7th position overall.
This is going to be hurt. This is going to hurt Johnny Thomas very badly. He desperately needs Adams to need to go to the top right now. And Adams is going to, because he's going to catch one of these cars coming through this corner. Kyle Hanshaw, I believe, in the 46 car. And here it is, the whole pack of injured cars, including points leader Ethan Burrell. Colin Fambro as well, one of the playoff drivers, and Henshaw gets out of the way, but the rest of these guys are not going to be able to do that. The lead pack's going to need to find a way around guys running side by side.
Johnny and Dylan both got a break there, as actually Dylan let Johnny in line there as they tucked in about 9th and 10th position.
This is exactly what I thought might happen. The half of this front pack has gone to pit road. They didn't even want to deal with it. They just pitted out of the way. Gerald Campbell to pit road for the final time in this one. Josh Adams trying to get through, and Delicato's going for the lead. He's going to have a run when he gets to Adams as well. Adams throws the block early.
Got to be aggressive and go for it, right? Here comes the 01 car right on the back of the 95.
Yep, here comes, I think it's Michael, that's Brinson in the 15. Matthew Brinson, Johnny Thomas up there as well, and those guys won't be able to pit this lap. Hopefully they're not out of fuel. Josh Clark, Hank Stein, Miller, Vincent Isabella, Harrison Talon, and points leader Ethan Burrell, all going 1 lap down to the race leaders right here. It's a difficult day. All those cars involved in wrecks. Chris Wright, one of our bubble guys. I don't think Wright's going to lose enough points to fall out, but it's close.
Delicato down to the bottom. He's going to get a run under Adams for the race lead.
Yeah, and the lapped cars have nowhere to go. They've just got to merge into this pack and race with the leaders as much as they can here. And Josh Adams is going to get taken 3 wide by Brinson. Oh, Johnny comes down a lane. He's going to go with Adams. He'll leave Brinson on the outside lane. So welcome to Erska Racing. Matthew Brinson, head to the back of the field, courtesy of the league owner. And Delicato getting a huge bonus point back for leading this lap. Don't think Bayuk's led a lap today, so Nick and Delicato up front, right where he needs to be.
This has been quite a stretch since our last caution there, David. How far can they usually go on gas?
Well, they're going to need to pit. You know, we saw Campbell, Thomas Sherman, bunch of this main group pit. These guys are going to need to pit as well. Issue for Josh Adams and Johnny Thomas right now, they have to go through Hank Steinmiller and Josh Clark to get down to pit road. Hank Steinmiller running that Bat Flip podcast, number 12 for Damian Leininger. And Josh Clark, you know, almost made the playoffs, had a rough luck last week, unable to turn a lap due to some computer issues. Those guys are going to end up involved in wrecks and having a tough night. You know who's not having a tough night? 5th place, Matthew Bayuk, doing absolutely everything he needs to get in. And the caution is out. Crash at Scott Crump and Robert Hill on the front stretch.
That's what I was going to ask you, if that's what Indelicato was trying to stay out for, waiting for that caution to come.
I think those guys definitely were. Also involved, Michael Goodman. James Heater involved. That's big news if Heater is heavily damaged. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Looks like maybe Crump right-reared Hill. Heater was upside down. That could be bad news for James Heater. We need to go back and try to take a look at how that one started. I think, I don't know, Robert Hill's car just veered right. Yep. Tough break for Michael Goodman here. Who is that in the wall? Is that Dylan Thomas? No, it's Goodman. Goodman's not it. It's this red, white, and blue one up in the top corner. Not sure who that is. They're all red, white, and blue. That one in the back there. That's the one that gets involved in this. Farther back. Yeah, the one that's coming, just crossing the start finish line right now. That's an odd one there for sure. I don't know who that is. Is that Colin Fambro? It's Colin Fambro. Fambro's day goes from bad to worse. He gets involved in yet another wreck. Not sure what happened to Robert Hill's car there. Yeah, Heater clobbers Fambro, who clobbers Goodman on that wreck. So tough break for playoff hopefuls for James Heater and Colin Fambro. Heater might be in trouble as Indelicato leads this race and Bayuk runs 5th. Just looking at the point standings here, James Heater has 23 points over Matthew Bayuk. Right now, Heater is running well back in the running order. Bayuk running in the top 5. With this, Zishan Dur is going to take the race lead. Gerald Campbell's going to be 2nd. Thomas Sherman 3rd. Those guys who pitted stayed on the lead lap. They will inherit the lead here. Matthew Weeks will be 5th. He was one of the ones who pitted with them for that group as well. And Delicato and Bayuk 6th and 7th. Those are the two guys on the bubble right now. They're the ones who are really in control of this race, especially given the possibility of big issues for James Heater, who could fall out of the top 10.
He's in 19th right now. We're being scored in 19th with Bayuk in 3rd. That would give him enough points to jump him in the point standings, and then would put Heater on that bubble of the 10th position.
Yeah, I think Heater's even going to go further back than that. I think a lot of those guys in the back are going to go around him. That car's been upside down, so I think it has a lot of damage. We'll see. It's It's tough to
Do we
tell.
know he wasn't in the top 10 for the stage points, was he?
I don't believe Heater was. I think Heater was involved in one of those wrecks way back in the pack.
That would be the only thing that I think would be saving him right now. But
Robert Hill called it out that his wheel came disconnected for a second, which is kind of that follows what happened. That 05 car just hung a right in the middle of the tri-oval, as if the wheel just completely stopped working. I think I agree with that assessment of what happened there. But a tough break for Robert Hill. He had been running in the front pack all day.
we're gonna have 10 to go.
Wow. And Zishan Dura, Gerald Campbell, the group that pitted is the ones who leave with the best track position. It works out really well for them. And Delicato's going to have to fight forward from 7th spot, it looks like, or 6th spot, it looks like. Josh Adams is going to have to fight forward from 8th. Bayuk is 7th. And that's kind of the 3 guys who you got to be watching out for in this final restart.
Peter's still in 19th, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Heater came off pit road, and a bunch of those guys took the wave around. So all of the cars who went a lap down with that damage took the wave around. So they are on the lead lap as well as Heater. But Heater has been upside down, might have a lot of damage. He could lose 5 or 6 more spots. That could be enough for Bayou or Indelicato or both to outpoint Heater. They just need 23 points, and both of them were up near the top 10. Bayou got stage points. Heater got a lap lead, or Indelicato got a lap lead. Heater hasn't been up there at all.
Well, I think for sure Bayuk's going to get around Heater. I mean, unless something happens here. Just going to be interesting to see what happens with Nick here.
Yep, if Nick can win the race, I think that would be the best situation, obviously. And here we go. Maybe the final restart, but I kind of doubt it. Green flag is in the air. Zishan Dura going to be the race leader. Gerald Campbell, he and Gerald have worked together a ton before. Thomas Sherman, Joe Francis, they've been up there all day long. And Johnny Thomas jumped right in behind Josh Adams on this restart. This is going to be a lot more wild than any of the other runs we've seen tonight. And I've watched for that 01 car. That guy is hungry and on a mission. And Sherman took that corner a little bit high, almost got the side of his teammate Gerald Campbell there. And Zishan Dura, the race leader. Nick Massey trying the top lane by himself. 48 car's been quiet tonight. At the line, Zishan Dura leads it. And it was very close. 5 thousandths of a second between Zishan and Campbell with 10 laps to go. At this point, everyone kind of holding their line, though. Not trying to do too much. Quick James Heater update. 25th place, 1 lap down. He's 23 points to the good over the cut line.
So Indelicato would have to be first or second right now.
Yep, and he is 6th. So he's going to need a few. Also, pass maybe for position. Fambro going around. No, Fambro's 2 laps down. So Jared Campbell, Zishan Dura, race lead. Nick Delicato's going to need to pick up a couple of these spots that are in front of him. Nick Massey's making it work up top. Massey's clawing his way up there. The only space available to run on the racetrack, everywhere else blocked by cars. Massey into the top 10. Will anyone go with him? He's making his way up there. He'd be able to probably get to the front if he had just a tiny bit of drafting help. Massey alone is pulling that outside lane back. You can see Zishan's got the pretty big advantage over Gerald Campbell here. And Campbell's coming back on the outside. Joe Francis, one of those guys who hasn't won a race yet this season. He's looking for an opportunity. Johnny just saw that it worked. He's heading up to the top. Going to try to go around Adams. Not going to be able to make that work. Adams is too good in the middle, and now Massey's down to the middle of Johnny Thomas. Oh,
Josh
man.
Adams turned to Delicato.
Into Weeks. Not a good move by Josh Adams at all. I think everyone's going to be all right. And Delicato spins it through the grass and saves it. I think the one car who's not going to be okay out of all that is going to be the one who hit the fence coming from when Weeks turned down. That was a tough move from Josh Adams right there. Just cut to the middle, and Delicato was already pinned to the inside lane. Oh my! That hit a bunch of our bubble cars. Oh, it's Thomas Sherman who gets spun there. As I'm looking at it, Sherman's going to get hit by Brinson. Personette spins out, but I think everyone gets going pretty easily here. Not a whole lot of heavy damage. Sherman's probably got the worst hit of this. Brinson as well. Sliding are Clark, My Hand. Steinmiller makes it through that. We might need to go on board with the 12 car there. Delicato made it through without any more damage besides that initial bump. I think Weeks only gets damage on the left front, so he's okay. He won't think he's okay, but he's okay. He's gonna be pretty annoyed by that one. Here's Hank Steinmiller there. I think this is a great job of wreck avoidance. Woohoo! Pulls up the brakes, lets him spin in front. That's Dylan Thomas spinning out there. Josh Adams single-handedly takes out the entire bubble. I think Bayuk did make it through, actually.
It's going to be interesting because then Delicato is going to line up right behind him here.
Yeah, and Delicato, I mean, it's super speedway racing, so it's not like Adams is lining up to wreck in Delicato there, but forcing it, 3 wide with 5 to go as opposed to maybe 1 to go with, Delicato's not giving him a lane there, so, Adams at that point trying to take the run where he can't really go. It's just this product of super speedway racing. You got to find the holes where you can get them because the way this package sets up, it blocks up all the lanes. The only place to go is where Nick Massey was going, up in that outside lane. All that, and we went on board with him there, but what a run, what a comeback run for Hank Steinmiller. Running 11th in this 12 car has been really solid all night long. Just got involved in those early wrecks. They fixed the damage on this thing. He's going to have an opportunity to run for a top 10 here in substitution of Damian Leininger. Let's go ahead and shout out Vincent Isabella running for the 36 car as well. Substitute drivers galore tonight. Everyone looking out, trying to make some gains for the cars and their sponsors.
$16 cars back on pit road. Where do you have them there? 26th. Uh-oh.
Yep, this is not good for James Heater. Though, fortunately for Heater, Delicato spun out. He's got additional damage. Bayuk's up there as well. But maybe Matthew Weeks is also struggling a little bit back in 16th after getting hit in that wreck. So as Heater comes off pit road, he is still the last car 1 lap down. He can't really lose anything more unless he loses another lap. So it's going to have to be, third or better for Nick and Delicato at this point. Maybe second or better, or fourth or better, rather, because he got a bump.
Well, he's in 5th right now, so
Yep.
We'll see how much that damage plays a factor, but he's definitely got a shot.
Man. If the only safe thing for Delicato to do here is win this race. That's the only safe thing he can do. He must go for the win. Gerald Campbell's been in control of this one for a long time. Adams has been good. He's 4th. Joe Francis has been up front all day. Zishan Dura has been quite strong. Johnny Thomas in 6th. A lot of these guys have been up front all day long. Got a bunch of guys who are running for top 10 who may not always have an opportunity to get one. And those guys will likely be just as hungry. We got damaged cars. We have championship hopefuls running with damaged cars in the mid-pack. We will see what it takes here because another wreck could knock some people out and give Heater the needed positions. So Delicato needs to hope that they stay green all the way to the line here.
3 to go. Lights out on the pace car. Back to green, we're going to go with Campbell and Dura on the front row.
Only about 10 cars not heavily damaged in this race. We'll see what they can do. Gerald Campbell's off early, real early. That's going to be a good restart for Campbell. That may put him right in the driver's seat. Delicato unable to build up a run. He's going to have to back up to his teammate Bayuk.
He's catching Francis here on the inside line. He's going to get a run with him.
Now, there's nowhere to take it when you're on the inside line. Just nowhere to go. You need to be up top to be able to make anything happen. And Delicato's trying the middle. He's trying to pull the move on Adams that Adams tried to pull on him. And
He rides right here, though. That bottom line might be able to pull away just a little bit.
Zishan and Josh Adams up top, though. That's a formidable combo. I wonder if Adams might back up to Thomas and try to take Zishan 3 wide. Coming down 2 to go. Still clean, still green. Here comes Zishan up top.
Johnny Thomas with a run, going to help that top line.
Adams leaning on the 10 car. Oh, man, that's risky. If in the corner, if you bump draft, you could spin these cars out. He's going to have a big run down the back straightaway, though. It's going to pay off. Zishan's going to be in the lead down the back. It's all a matter of who steps out of line and tries to go to the top. Right now, Dylan Thomas is up there. He's not going to really be a factor, I don't think. That car a little bit heavily damaged after a couple of wrecks. Dura's got to run. Adams pushing. Can Delicato find a way through? White flag in the air for Zishan. Dura, he'll lead it at the line.
All right, so we're racing back to the stripe here.
Last time we did this, we all wadded up 15 cars on the back straightaway. Let's see, Nick Massey to the top on the outside lane, pushed by Josh Clark. That'll prevent Johnny Thomas from going anywhere. Campbell leads back to the bottom.
Bottom line with a run down the backstretch.
See if they bob and weave and wreck. There goes Adams into Delicato. Oh, that's going to cost Delicato. It's a 3-car race to the line. Adams, Dura, and Campbell. Can Francis get a run on Gerald Campbell? Here we go. Francis to the top. Campbell will not be able to block. Joe Francis. Gerald Campbell side by side.
It's going to be
Francis
Joe
got
Francis.
him. What a move by Joe Francis at the line. He'll take it from Campbell. Campbell will make the playoffs. Ethan Burrell finished 5th in this race. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Matthew Bayuk's going to come across the line in P20. And Delicato, or P21. And Delicato, oh no, Bayuk's, no, 19th. And Delicato 15th. Rough napkin math that means Bayuk is in and Delicato out. Heater was 26th. Not enough space, not enough spots, and Delicato needed to finish in the top 5. Joe Francis is going to take it home with a blast lap pass of Gerald Campbell. Zishan Dura with a 2nd place run. The 3 of the front, they were the only 3 who made it out.
That was Adams and Delicato they got together again.
And we need to go watch that one. And it seemed like Josh Adams just going extra hard there, and just a little bit annoying to try to get in there and try to do a little too much where he maybe didn't have a hole to go in. Let's see what happened here as they tried to build up the run in that middle lane. He just got down on Delicato's door and sent him into the fence. Jordan Owens makes this through unscathed. I believe he'll get into the top 10. Joe Francis burning it down. A lot of this must be a very popular win. A lot of cars up there, and Francis's first win of the season. Good for him, and a good run for that 50 car. He was strong all day. He was working with Gerald Campbell there, it looks like. About that. Harrison Talon's going to finish 6th in this one too. We might have to go to the onboard of Ethan Burrell and Harrison Talon to get through that wreck. So just on my napkin math there, Adams actually was pretty close to Dylan Thomas. Well, it's 30 points. So my napkin math is that Bayuk is in and Delicato is out. Adams is in. Dylan Thomas is out. If Joe Francis got enough points to overthrow Dylan Thomas, I would be surprised. Or Adams, I would be surprised. I don't think he did. Yeah, this is what I believe, and possibly not true here. He might have tied Ryan Lutz for the regular season title with a 5th place run. And I think then the tiebreaker would go to Lutz, which after all of the battling they've done this season, that would be absolutely amazing. Here it is. The crash happens. No brakes, baby. No lift. Ethan Burrell just plowed on through. Bring it home in 5th. Unbelievable. I believe Harrison Talon followed him right through there as well. Incredible finish there. Oh man. And Matthew Brinson, P8 in his debut with this series. Jordan Owens 9th, Johnny Thomas 10th. Wow. So let's go ahead and get Gerald Campbell up in here and let him talk to Emily, the race winner. Hey, let me get him. There we go.
What lot?
He's up, Emily. You ready to Emily, you good? Okay, well, Gerald, congratulations on the win, man. Or rather, the 3rd place finish. But that means you're in the playoffs. So how does that feel?
Oh, that was the main goal. That was a check mark right there. It was just trying to make sure I made it into the playoffs there. And once I was securely enough in on points, I had a bit of a cushion, but not one that you feel completely safe at on a super speedway, but one enough that I just needed a few more extra points with those bonuses at the halfway was the check mark I needed to go after and try to go for the win, which me and the team did fantastic. Aggressive Eagle got 1, 2, 3 there and got the pole in the beginning of the race and won the stage. I think that was Aggressive Eagle dominance there for this race. So the team's happy. Just good overall momentum for this team going on into the chase.
And did you think maybe you could have had something for Joe there, or was he just in the perfect spot at the right time?
If it wasn't a teammate, probably could have done some kind of maneuver, but probably was a 50-50 shot getting wrecked too. Just not something I was going to be willing to make on a teammate that was pushing me so loyally during the whole race. And of course, Zishan right behind him, and he pushed me, as you know, in the Elite Series that got me the win and ultimately got me the championship in Elite. So, kind of was one of those things that you kind of have to, race as cleanly as you can with the circumstances. And as soon as I saw that outside line clobber themselves, I knew it was going to be between the 3 of us, and just wanted to make sure that no one out of us missed out on an opportunity on getting a good solid finish. So just overall happy. Could I gotten the win? If I tried something, I might have had a shot at it.
Awesome, man. And you got any shout outs for us there, Gerald?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to MDS Fantasy Football. Football's coming up. you're gonna want to tune into there. A lot of changing of position of guards there, so if you have a lineup that you don't know, if you don't fully have a grasp of who's where and who to pick and everything, good little broadcast on. You can get them on Twitter. You just you can see them on Belly Up and all that. But thanks to the team, Aggressive Eagle. Next season we'll have it all official, where we're all running the same cars and all having the logos and everything. But when we're running a Discord, we all have a feeling that we're all a team right now. So we're all in it together. And when we come to these plate races, I think we show dominance just because we all get along so well and we don't leave each other out to dry, and we think about each other for the race, and that's why we're up there battling for the win almost every time we get to a super speedway. So yeah, other than that, I'm excited to go to the chase, excited to see what I could do. Last time I was in the chase, I won a championship just not too long ago. I'm going to go into it with the same mentality, which is be aggressive, try to be there at the end, and overall just try to do everything I personally can in a race car and just see where we end up. We'll see where the tally marks end up on it, and if it puts me in the final four, I think you know how much laps I'm willing to put to make sure I win that championship at the end. I put 800 laps in on it at Phoenix to make sure to win a championship there, and I'll be darn sure willing to do that, of course, for this series with how amazing the competition here is. I might need to do maybe a little bit more than that if I make it into the final four. So yeah, we'll have to see.
All right, man. Good luck next week, or I guess it's a couple weeks from now. But good luck in the chase, Gerald.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Gerald Campbell, our third place finisher. Let's try to grab our second place finisher. Emily, are you back with us? Let's see. Having some mic difficulties over there. I heard you when you plugged it in earlier, or unplugged it earlier, but maybe now?
Got me?
Yes, there you are.
Do you have a copy?
Yes. Alrighty.
All right, I'm back. I'm back in action. Let's do this.
Heck yeah. All right, why don't you talk to race winner Joe Francis right now?
Hey, Joe, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, coming into tonight, you were on the outside looking in when it came to points. So how does it feel to finish in first tonight?
It feels pretty good, especially after the season I had. I think I've been wrecked out of majority of races this season. It's just kind of been heartbreaking and real frustrating. So finally good to get a grasp on one race and heck, just finish well, let alone win.
Yeah, what was your strategy kind of coming into tonight?
Throw anything to the wall and see if it sticks. It's Daytona. You can never control the situation at Daytona, except for now. I did have a lot of teammates up front that we were helping each other, and we were able to stay up front most of the race, and we were able to control it pretty well. But it's still Daytona. It's still a crapshoot.
Was there a point in the race that kind of felt like a turning point to you, or were you starting to feel comfortable, or was it just pretty much chaos from start to finish for you?
Right before that final pit stop, we were in the middle of the pack, or at least me and a couple other teammates were, and we saw the other pack of cars coming up. The main pack was about to pass some lap cars. So we were talking, we had to pit one more time, so we figured we'd pit right before we hit that pack of cars, so we didn't caught up in that chaos. So our whole team pitted, and we kept going. We didn't go a lap down, and the caution came out, so we were able to cycle out to the lead. And I think that was about the best thing that could happen to us tonight.
And I know this race was important for a lot of people when it came to points for tonight. Did you kind of feel like this one had a little bit more intensity compared to the other ones?
Oh, it's Daytona. It's always intense. It's like juggling chainsaws.
Well, before we let you go, are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Oh, yeah, the whole team. The new team, after we merged with the other guys, Aggressive Eagle Racing. I love the name. My other team, Strictly Stock Motorsports, Jesse, Cato, James, GT, Chris. I hope you're watching because he sponsors my car, Duck Press Media and Solutions. And Zishan and the other guys and Aggressive Eagle for all working together and having a great race.
Well, thanks so much for the time tonight, Joe, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you guys for broadcasting.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Right, that was Joe Francis. Our race winner. Let's grab our second place finisher, Zishan Dura. Right. Oof. Now.
Hey, Zishan, do you have a copy?
Yeah, hi guys.
Zishan, do you have a copy?
Yeah, hi guys.
Hey, so just kind of take us through how you thought this race went for you tonight.
This race was awesome. At the beginning in that lap 15 crash, I hit Jeff Green pretty good. I got 24 seconds of damage from that. For some reason, I miscalculated the laps to go under that caution, so I did stay out, but it was on accident. I originally went down pit road, but I missed my stall because my pit sign waved really late. So I was really worried my engine was going to blow up, so I kind of just parked it on the bottom, and I had my fingers on Alt F4 basically that whole run. I'm pretty sure the engine almost went right before the second caution came out, so I was thankful for that. And after that, Aggressive Eagle, we developed a pit plan to pit with around 10 laps to go, because we knew there would be a caution somewhere after that, and we were trying to leapfrog the field. It worked out perfectly for us, and we were able to keep it up there. And I wish I had, gotten the win, but I'm really happy for Joe, and P2 isn't great. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just chatted with Joe and he mentioned how Daytona was just crazy. You could never know what to expect. So did you feel good coming into tonight? Did you think you'd kind of win or end up in the top?
I knew I was capable. Usually I don't have much pace to be in consideration at other tracks, but plate tracks are really my favorite thing, and I have a good track record on plate tracks in every league except Erska. So I was hoping I could finally, get a good finish here and hopefully turn this season around because, man, it's been a struggle. I've been getting wrecked and even wrecking myself a couple times, like every week. So I'm just glad I ended this race without having any required.
Yeah, absolutely. We think you did great. We're stoked for you. Before we let you go, are there any shout outs you would like to give?
Yeah, of course. Brantley for hopping on the car with Harpoon Designs. We had nothing for the 10 for the first third of the season. So huge shout out to him. Check him out at harpoondesign.com. Duck Press Media for being on the 50 this entire season. That helped us out a lot. Gerald Campbell and the whole Aggressive Eagle group. Josh Robin, Josh Personette, Thomas Sherman. Everyone did their part there, and before that last caution, we had the top two in both lanes, and I think we just all did a great job to get a 1-2-3. And you guys for broadcasting, and Johnny Thomas for putting on this great league with Super Pure Racing.
On coming in second tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Zishan, I did tell you, your time was coming. You just did it second again.
Yeah.
After you finished second in the other one. So congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right, Zishan Dura, our second place finisher. Let's grab our regular season champion, Ethan Burrell. Before we close it out tonight, Ethan does win the regular season title by 1 point over Ryan Lutz. Fifth place gives you 36 points. He came into the night 35 behind. So let's bring in Ethan Burrell right now.
Hey, Ethan, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I got you.
Just having some mic issues. Emily, he's there.
Perfect. Congratulations on winning the regular season, Ethan. Take us through how this one went for you tonight.
Yeah, I can't believe it. To be honest, every lap but the last one was pretty terrible for me. I didn't qualify great. I knew I was in the hazard zone and of the pack, and I was trying to push my way forward, but it was really hard to pass in the lines there, and got caught up in the first big one, caught up in the second big one, and I mean my car was an empty tuna can. Basically, I was close to just pulling it down and calling it a night, but I hung in there and near the end got lucky and was about to run out of gas, but managed to get back on the lead lap and get the wave around. And then, but I mean, Josh Robin, he was fast all race, had his problem, but when he came back, that green white checkered, he just latched onto my back bumper and shoved me. And I hope you guys got that, me dodging that wreck on the last lap. That was nuts.
Well, just kind of looking at the season as a whole, why do you think that you were able to be so successful when it came to points in the races?
I think just consistency for sure. Consistently having good pace, and even if you're not one of the fastest cars, I mean, if you can do everything in your power otherwise to get yourself up near the front, and doing that consistently, I mean, that's what it's all about. So, I'm happy to walk away with it. I know Lutz missed this race, and I had quite the margin to make up. But yeah, it's just awesome. I mean, it came down to plowing through that wreck on the last lap just to barely get it.
I know we're super happy for you. Definitely well deserved. Before we let you go, are there any shout outs you would like to give?
Yeah, just all my friends and family for watching, my grandma and all the guys at Pro Edge Racing, and Michael Daniel Martinez and David Tooker for helping us out, calling the shots for us on strategy. And thanks to you guys for putting on an awesome show for us, and Johnny for putting together such a fun league to race in. And we'll go championship racing here and hope we can keep up the pace.
All right, can't wait. Thanks so much for the time tonight, Ethan, and congratulations again.
All right, thank you.
Yep, that's regular season champ Ethan Burrell takes it by 1 point over Ryan Lutz at the end of the day. So congratulations, Ethan, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right.
Alrighty, so Darlington up next in a couple weeks from now. Let me double check the timing on that.
July 12th, so
Yep.
3 weeks from today.
July 12th is when we will be back in action. From Darlington, the chase goes Darlington, Martinsville, Auto Club, Indianapolis, Talladega, Richmond, Las Vegas to close it out. That is a slew of different racetracks. Got a token mile and a half in there. You got another one of these super speedways. Darlington is a racetrack. Martinsville and Richmond, the short tracks. It's going to be a really fun set of races, I think. And whoever comes out of there with the most points will definitely deserve the championship. So with that, what are your final thoughts from this race, guys?
It was a fun one tonight. Just thank you everyone for sticking with us through the mic issues and technical difficulties we had. We definitely appreciate it. Congratulations to our top three, and I can't wait to be back here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it lived up to what it was supposed to be tonight. A chance for, there was some drama there on the playoff cut line with Indelicato, and it made it interesting coming down to the last lap. I thought it was a little calmer than what we normally see at Daytona, if you can say that. I think the first time we were here, there's a little bit more action and more wrecks. Things kind of went a little green flag more than we're used to, but it was good racing overall, and congrats to our top three. Excited for the playoffs to start. It's going to get real intense here the next 7 weeks, and hope everyone has a good holiday and 4th of July while we're off and get ready to come back for some playoff racing.
Yep, I think it's going to be a really exciting championship. I'm looking forward to it. Got a lot of really deserving guys in this group. Once again, our playoff field will be Ethan Burrell, Ryan Lutz, Tate Lytle, Nick Massey, Jared Mogard, Gerald Campbell, Chris Wright, Matthew Weeks, James Heater, Matthew Bayuk, Josh Adams, and Cameron Rich. So that's your playoff field. It'll be one of those guys that wins this championship. I'm excited. I think it'll be a great couple of races. So for David Westergreen, Dom Santina, Emily Harlan, Belly Up Sports, this has been the Red and White and Blue 200 presented by Erska. And everyone have a good night.